Grizzlies fans, it's time for another Grizz game day update. Today, the Grizzlies will take on the Rockets for the third time, twice in this week. We have it almost back to back. So joining me today, once again, Vanessa Richardson. Thank you for coming on today. Enjoying Memphis?
Yes, so far. I had a good meal last night, hoping to have some barbecue at some point, maybe tomorrow. I'm going to do the touristy thing and walk Beale Street. But yeah, I've enjoyed it so far. And like you said, we're here for, it seems like a few weeks. In the NBA world, 4 days is 3 or whatever is a very lengthy time. So I'll definitely have time to get to know the city.
Yes, you will. Walking Beale Street will be fun. So actually, you've never been to our arena, right?
I went today for shoot around.
Of course, yeah. But it's also like it's on Beale Street. Like the address is 191 Beale. So you can check everything off your list while you're here. So the Rockets play tonight at FedexForum. They also play Friday at FedexForum. So if you're missing tonight, get you some tickets for Friday. But tonight is going to be fun. It's the third time we play this team, this divisional foe. So we do get them 4 times. The game is at 7:00. For us, it's Steven Adams and Brandon Clark are obviously still out. Dylan Brooks will be missing tonight's game due to his 18th technical foul. He's in a league suspension. But the big news, Vanessa, is Ja Morant will be back tonight. I think the big question mark, and it's a miniature question mark, is whether he'll start or come off the bench.
Right.
But he's back. And so it's going to be, like a Jalen Green, homecoming type of game today. I mean, that has to change the way that this Houston Rockets approaches the game. Because, of course, like no one knew when that was going to be when he comes back.
Yep. I mean, for sure. And he's one of the superstars in the NBA. And people can get into the specifics all they want, but he's a great basketball player. And he's also good friends with Jalen Green and good friends with Kevin Porter Jr. So he's coming back at a game where I think he'll feel, look, competition's competition. Those, a good number of the Houston Rockets guys. So it changes everything. And his media availability, when he's talked about, he'll come off the bench, he'll do whatever it takes. I think it's impressive. So I'm looking forward to obviously seeing what he can do. And we're just such a young team that it'll be, y'all obviously have more vets than we do, but I think it'll be interesting and certainly a national media presence for the return of Ja Morant, no question.
It would be so easy, Vanessa, to look at this game and be like, look, like this should be a cakewalk for the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies are second in the West or tied for second or wherever they are. But this Rockets team is playing some of the best basketball they've played all season. Like it seems like with young teams, like towards the end of the year, they really start to like click and understand each other and kind of get it together. They beat the Celtics, like a full strength Celtics. They beat the Lakers, who obviously are trying to stay in that play-in area. And so tell me what you've liked about the Rockets in the last couple weeks.
No doubt. I mean, they have a renewed energy. They're playing, as Jalen has said repeatedly, they're playing together. They're playing for each other. They had a team meeting right after All-Star. Mm-hmm. And it was primarily Frank Kaminsky III and Jae'Sean Tate. And they basically said, let's play our best basketball. The season's not over yet. Let's work. And you've seen it. They have not hidden the fact that they enjoy playing spoiler if they're given that opportunity. And they don't want to be the team that, when you look at the schedule, you think, oh, we'll get the win versus the Rockets. Mm-hmm. I do think they've proven, as you said, in the last couple of weeks, that you do have to put up a fight against them. You're going to have to keep your starters in longer than maybe you did at the beginning of the year when you played them. And the development we've seen from Jabari Smith Jr. has been unbelievable. So, yeah, I mean, I've liked a lot of what I've seen. I've liked that Jalen is hitting the weight room and becoming better defensively, which is what he wanted. Alperen Sengun told me when we were in San Francisco, he wanted to be better defensively. Jabari Smith Jr. told me that he and his dad have just taken it back to basics. They're in a gym, working on his shot, doing what, right? Like so cute.
Yes. And something that they do really well is something that the Grizzlies do really well. And that is, I mean, for the Grizzlies, it's like the big man game, but it's also the guards, and they score a lot in the paint. Both these teams are top 5 in points in the paint, also second chance points, and rebounding. So it's like all those things obviously are very, very connected. And a lot of them has to do with JJ on our end, because Steven Adams also has a lot to do with Ja getting to the paint. A lot to do with Santi Aldama, our second year, who's had just an incredible rise this year. On your end, what do those 3 stats look like, and how do they, like, you know what I mean? Like ours is bigs and guards. How do you guys get that? And how important will like winning those battles be tonight?
Yeah, crucial, because that's what's kept the Rockets in a lot of games. And what's interesting is when Alperen's been out and Jabari has stepped into the 5, he's looked good. And I think the term is hustle. And I feel like I use that term a lot to describe this team. But if you watch Tari Eason, if you watch KJ Martin, if you watch the effort and the second chance points and all of that, that is part of the identity of the Rockets.
Yeah.
Per your point, Grizzlies too. So I think that is those stats, I think, are something to watch tonight, because if we get to the fourth quarter and it's a close game, you're talking about something that could determine the game. So I'm very excited to see that. I love when teams have similarities like that. So I'm excited to see those stats too. And I love that you pointed that out.
Yes. I am going to bring up one that's not so good though. So I apologize in advance. The Rockets allow the most 3-point makes per game.
Yeah.
They're 28th in the league in opponent 3-point percentage. And now the Grizzlies, there is a stat out there, and I want to shout out Sean Coleman, one of our beat reporters, that I don't know the stat off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But like when the Grizzlies make X number of threes, and it's not like a crazy number, it's like 15 or something. They're like 15 and 1 or something. And so
wow.
The Grizzlies have had shooting woes. They 100% have. The last few games they've been shooting well. Luke Kennard, who is the guy we got on at the trade deadline, has been, being asked to shoot a ton and making a ton. Dez has been back since his toe injury, and some of those guys have been hitting threes, and it's really been helping. I'm curious, kind of from your end, the 3-point defense, what's been going on there?
I think Alperen is the one that said that there was an energy and focus that he felt like was lost.
Okay.
It's tough. And obviously it depends on what type of basketball you're playing. It depends on who's in the lineup, but I know, why you have to bring it up. It is a stat, and it's something, there are going to be stats where you look at it and you're like, that has to change. And that's definitely one of them. I don't think any of them hide from that. But it's going to be key tonight. And I'm going to ask you to send me that stat that Sean or whoever got, because that's a heck of a stat. So definitely watch as well.
I'll text Sean as soon as we're off of here, and I'll get it for you for your broadcast. Okay. Last but not least, I think next game day update is going to be so fun, because we'll have like actual like recent stats. We haven't played Houston in so long. We'll have recent stats of like, what's moving forward. Anyway, I'm going to go with, I asked like one of two questions at the end of either of these. I'm going to go with one. Maybe I'll ask the other one on Friday. Your matchup that you're most looking forward to tonight.
I think the bigs. I hate to be cliche.
No, I think so too. Because it's usually like jaw against someone, jaw against this one. But I think this one's going to be a big game. I'm with you.
I think I'm trying to look past, I don't want to say the obvious, because jaw coming back. Yes, like jaw coming back. That is why there will be triple the media. That's why there will be, a lot of social media, and I'm sure the camera angles of him and Jalen hugging, like we're going to get all of that. I am so interested in the bigs. And I think, obviously you guys, Jaren is unbelievable. But I like the way ours have developed too. And I think that's my favorite matchup, but obviously let's, the headline, jaw, it's going to be huge. And will he start? Will he come off the bench? We don't know, but I think it's going to be a really good game. Yeah. I'm excited.
And I mean, let's not forget the last time these two teams played, I think the Grizzlies went down by like 15 or 16 points, rallied back and won. But like, I think this is going to be a better game than like if you were a casual NBA fan just looking at records.
So true. And I'm glad you brought that up, because finishing games was a huge, huge, huge issue for the Rockets. And they have made a concerted effort, for that as well. And we've seen that since the All-Star break. We've seen that improve. Even like against the Pacers, they lost that game in overtime, but Jabari Smith Jr., made the shot to send it to overtime. Like against, like there are games that they've lost, and a loss is a loss, but at least that fourth quarter is a lot better. So I agree with you. Going to be a good game, and I'm excited.
Yes, Vanessa, seriously, thank you so much. Excited to see you over the next 4 days. You're a resident now, so I appreciate your time.
Yes, I appreciate you as always, and I'll see you soon.
Yes, Grizzlies fans, get to the game, stay dry. It looks like it's going to rain out there. Get there nice and early, and the game tips off at 7 p.m. You can watch this one locally on Valley Sports Southeast and Valley Sports Plus app.